What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of my new career mode. This is episode number 8, and we start today's episode off by seeing that we've got our first ever international management offer in the series. It comes from the United States of America, but we turned a chance to manage them down. The reason being is because we did manage them briefly in my last career mode, but the main reason is because we started really brightly with Torino, and I'd rather focus all my time with the club as opposed to having a country to manage as well. Obviously, it's not really a big thing because for me at least, I don't play international friendlies or qualifiers, I just play the tournament, but I'd still rather focus 100% of my time on Torino, at least for the time being. And of course, we did manage doing my West Bromwich Albion career mode briefly, so I think we'll wait until an international management offer comes in and we really want to take it, as opposed to just taking one straight off the bat just because it's a nice side story, because it is a nice side story. I like having a club and a country to manage as well in career mode, but I think we'll wait until we get one which I'm really focused on, I would actually like to manage, as opposed to picking one just because they came in for us. But even so, we turned America down. That's the first one we got in the series so far, and hopefully we'll start getting a few more and some more that I'm actually interested in managing. So we take on Palermo for the first game of today's episode here at home, and the first chance fell to the away side, and the first goal would fall to the away side as well. Really frustrating one this. I'm not exactly sure where Balanta was in the passage of play. As for Maximovic, that was my fault as I dragged him out of position, but we had neither centre-back guarding Mike Knock, is that how you pronounce that, in the centre, and in the end, as he gets onto the header after the cross, he hits the bar, and he's got so much time. He plays a 1-2 with the crossbar and then heads the ball in to the open goal to make it Torino 0, Palermo 1. So really poor defending, and as you can see, as soon as the header comes in, he hits the bar, and there's no one in the centre to challenge that follow-up header as it goes into the open goal after Padelli's already dived. So that was really poor defending from me, terrible positioning, and Palermo do indeed take the lead. So Torino 0, Palermo 1. In the 24th minute, we could have equalised, but Quagliarella's shot was denied by the goalkeeper, and it's still 1-0 to the away side. And in the 39th minute here, another good chance for us to get back on level terms as Baselli plays it out wide towards Bruno Perez, the right back. He cuts inside past the number 7 and shoots from just inside the area, but it's straight at the goalkeeper, and eventually Palermo scrambled it away. So still Torino 0, Palermo 1. Looked as though that would be the scoreline going into the break, but just before the half-time mark here, Quagliarella shoots. It deflects off Poloski and falls to Gabbiadini, and Gabbiadini makes it Torino 1, Palermo 1 with his 4th goal in the Serie A so far. Had a pretty decent start to his Torino career. That is now his 4th goal, and this was a pretty simple goal from him as well, because when the shot came from Quagliarella, it deflected off the teammate Poloski, and in midair it fell to Gabbiadini, who just volleyed the ball in with his weaker right foot to make it Torino 1, Palermo 1. So pretty fortunate goal, but we are back on level terms. In the 66th minute, a great chance for Palermo to get themselves back in front. Here is Dybala. Looks like he's going to take this free kick, but instead leaves it to his teammate. The shot comes in, but it goes just off target and behind for a goal kick. So still 1-1 in this game. But a couple minutes later, Darmian off the bench sprints down the left-hand side and tries to whip in across. It's eventually cleared away, but as it falls to Florenzi here, he wins the ball in the air. It comes to Gabbiadini, who takes a couple of touches, then plays it back to Benassi. Benassi to Gabbiadini, who shoots on his left foot, and it's an absolute wonder goal from Gabbiadini. Just over 18 minutes to go before the 90th minute mark. Gabbiadini makes it Torino 2, Palermo 1, and we take the lead the first time in this game, and it's an absolutely superb strike as well. We know that Gabbiadini's got a decent long shot rating, haven't really tried it out too many times just yet, but that is an absolutely superb strike, and so far the best goal of the season and the series so far, no doubt about it. Unfortunately, you couldn't see more than one replay because there was a substitution afterwards, which is really frustrating. That does happen sometimes, so I had to go and make a couple of replays in the match highlight section, but even so, that was just an absolute wonder goal and worthy of seeing more than just once. A brilliant strike from Gabbiadini. I just love the way he hit it with the outside the left foot, and it wasn't the fact there was so much curve on it, but it was more the accuracy. It was like it was a straight shot, not too much curve on it, not too much swerve on it, but it just cannoned in off the inside of the woodwork and into the back of the net. So Torino 2, Palermo 1, both goals coming through Gabbiadini. He almost scored his 3rd goal and his hat-trick there from this free kick, but it curled just wide the post and behind for a goal kick, so still 2-1. And 10 minutes before the end, Palermo looked for their equalising goal. Barretto's shot was well saved by the goalkeeper Padelli though, and turned behind for a corner. And always how the game would finish as well, Torino 2, Palermo 1. So that man Gabbiadini gets the plaudits as he scored both goals in this game, and the second goal, of course, an absolute wonder goal and the best goal of the season so far. It was a performance which, was a decent one. It wasn't the best performance we put in all season, to be honest. As you'll see by the match stats right here in the match stats screens, you can see we did have more shots and more on target than Palermo, but it wasn't as convincing. We were balanced in possession 50-50. It wasn't as convincing as I was looking to do so. Palermo aren't a bad side, of course, but I thought we were going to win that game and bounce back from the Juventus game with a comfortable win here. Palermo made it hard work for us, took the lead, of course, but in the end, Gabbiadini's won the goal separates the two sides, and I think we did just about deserve to edge it, really, as we did win the game by 2-1, and of course Gabbiadini was my player of the game. He was superb in that match. And for the second game of today's episode here, the second and final game of today's episode, we take on Empoli away from home. Now, Empoli, of course, are currently sitting just above the relegation zone. Sometimes in FIFA career mode, you don't get to see the league table after the two team logos are shown to start the game. I don't know why that is. It's really frustrating, but even so, they are just a couple of points above the relegation zone right now. So coming into this game away from home, we'd expect a win, coming on the back of that win against Palermo, looking to make it 2 wins out of 2. But it is worth noting, of course, that our last away game did result in a loss to Juventus. We had that in the back of our minds. We were still hoping for the win regardless. And the first chance we'd fought in the 24th minutes, Florenzi picks the ball up and plays that wide towards Nicola Muru. Muru finds Quagliarella, plays it back to our left back here, takes it round his man, we'll get a little fake shot, swings it across with his weaker right foot, and picks out Gabbiadini in the centre to get his third goal in 2 games. He wins the header, makes it Empoli 0, Torino 1. And we do take the lead away from home. So, you know, the game against Palermo, great to get a win in that game, but we wanted to follow it up with a win in this one as well, and this was the perfect start. First real opportunity results in a goal, and again, it's Gabbiadini bagging the goal. It's now his 6th goal in the Serie A so far, having a very good start to his Torino career. This is, of course, only the 16th game of the season, so that's a very decent return for a new attacking midfielder, and showing his presence right from kickoff, winning the ball back, going down the right-hand side, taking it around the last defender with a quick little reverse step over and shooting, and putting the ball just off target behind for a goal kick. So Gabbiadini really feeling it right now, but it's still Empoli 0, Torino 1. In the 39th minute, a great chance for the home side to equalise though. Basha, our former midfielder, who we sold to Empoli in the summer transfer window, gets the ball back and plays it inside. The shot is taken, but Padelli makes a good stop and turns it behind for a corner, so still 1-0. And just before half-time, on the stroke of half-time, again it's Empoli looking for the equalising goals. They go down the left-hand side here, eventually swinging across from, I think it's Heise, who takes it around his man here, eventually takes it around Benassi, swings it across. The bicycle kick is one in the air, but Padelli turns behind for another corner, and it is still Empoli 0, Torino 1. So going into the break, we were still leading in this game, but Empoli were playing pretty well for a side that are just hovering above the relegation zone. Again, they went pretty close here in the 48th minute, just 3 minutes after the restart. This header by the number 9 going just wide of the post after Basha's free kick was swung in, and it was still Empoli 0, Torino 1. But they were playing better than us, to be honest, despite us leading. And in the 55th minute, 10 minutes after the restart here, they go down the right-hand side with Vicino. He takes it around Baselli, swings it across to the centre. The number 9 wins the header and makes it Empoli 1, Torino 1. And pretty frustrating to know that both of the goals were conceded in these 2 games come through headers, and this time there were players in the centre trying to intercept the ball, but it was our skipper who tried to head the ball away, but mistimed the jump, and that's why he just, you know, completely mistimed his jump and couldn't win the header. And in the end, the number 9 just headed it past Padelli into the bottom corner to make it 1-1. So both goals really my fault. First, the poor positioning in the first goal. For this one, I completely mistimed the jump with the circle button. Both of those players right there going for the header, neither of them gets it, and in the end, it's a simple header for the number 9 who makes it Empoli 1, Torino 1. So the home side back in level terms, back on level terms even, and deservedly so. They were playing better than us, but still frustrated to know that goal should have, and you know, could have and should have been avoided, but it wasn't. So Empoli 1, Torino 1. From kickoff, we tried to get ourselves back in front right away. Muri sprints down the left-hand side, and the shot is taken by Quagliarella, but the goalkeeper makes a good save and keeps it at 1-1. And in the 75th minute, a great chance for Empoli to take the lead for the first time in the game as they go down the left-hand side here. Basha, our former midfielder, is on the ball. The Albanian rises the challenge of Maximovic and puts our captain on the floor. Keeps on going, plays the ball inside. The shot is taken, but it's just off target, and it goes behind for a goal kick. So still 1-1 in this game. And the final chance fell here 2 minutes before the end as Bruno Perez finds Darmian off the bench. Down the left-hand side, fake shots around his man, keeps hold of the ball, plays it inside towards Florenzi who shoots, and his shot is just wide of the post and behind for a goal kick. But it was how the game would finish. Empoli 1, Torino 1. So sadly for us, we don't get back-to-back wins, and we do have a draw in this game. It was a very balanced match though, and as you'll see by the stats, it really was a deserved draw for both sides. Neither team deserved to lose in my opinion, and although we should have won the game, when you think about Empoli just above the relegation zone and, you know, us right now in second place, we should have got the result, but even so, first place even, we should have got the result, but even so, a 1-1 draw, it's not disastrous. And there you go. Still following out, my player of the match was Muru. I thought he played pretty well down the left-hand side for us, did pretty well, and because Juventus did win their game as well, it does mean they're now top of the table, so that draw does mean we're going into second place, but even so, it's not too disastrous. Second place is still pretty good for us in the first half of the season, and we'll take that. And the final thing you'll see is that Christian Molinaro has his contract up at the end of the year. He could leave on a free transfer in the January transfer window, and I'm okay with that. I'm not going to offer him a new contract because he doesn't have much of a future here. And that does end the episode, guys. So as always, a big thank you for watching the video. Really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed today's episode of my new career mode, then please do leave a like, and I'll see you for the next episode of my new career mode very soon.